So let's hear the story on proposal number 9.
Yeah, definitely. So with Nouns, they started August 8th happened. They almost immediately started thinking about, cool, we're here. Now let's bring in governance. Let's bring in proposals. Let's use this treasury, which I honestly think blew up beyond even the Nounders' wildest dreams so fast that they're almost like, shoot, what do we do with this money? We have so much. Let's just pay people to do things that proliferate, which is a word you hear all the time around Nouns. Proliferate Nouns, proliferate this community, this ecosystem. Let's just throw money at talented people and see what they can do. And so I was obviously around at that time. It took me a while to try to figure out what I could do, what I could bring to the space. Because, like I said, my biggest additive to projects like this is actually the team building side of things. Ideating is great. I can be creative and collaborative and come up with great ideas too. But it was September. Nouns had been around for a month. It was 4156 and David Horvath and I. We were talking in the Nouns Discord, and I didn't have much ETH at the time. So I was throwing in like 1 ETH bids, not even like maybe even like 0.1 ETH bids. And I was just like, I want my name to be like ingrained and set on the blockchain forever to show how early I was in this project that is most likely going to be like years and years and years down the road, still just as successful, if not more, as it is now. And so I started throwing out these bids, and I honestly want to say it was like 4156, which is like, cool, this is great. How do we incentivize this? Is there a way that we can have an incentive for people who are bidding? And I had known about POAPs for a while. They were definitely very early. Like, not many people knew what they were. I honestly don't even remember where I figured out what they were, how I heard about them at first. But I was like, oh, this sounds like something that this technology, this thing called a POAP could actually do. They're pretty easy to make. I looked it up. They're pretty easy to send out. How do we use these to like bring forth this idea that 4156 David Horvath and I had? And so I just started thinking about how we would do this, what kind of team we would need. Obviously, we need an artist. Obviously, we needed someone who knew how to code. That was more so like a front-end developer, because the nice thing with POAPs is you actually didn't need to have any real Solidity experience to be able to use them and integrate things into them. And so I knew we didn't need a Web3 native dev. We needed a good front-end dev. We needed a good artist to do the POAP art. And then we needed someone to create this UI or this design that would intrigue people or keep them interested in a website or whatever it was that we were going to create. And so David Horvath was obviously the no-brainer choice for the artist. He was involved in this initial conversation. He was very trusted in the noun space and also just in the crypto space. And then that brought me to finding a front-end developer. And so I had been involved in Shark DAO. Obviously, they were part of the testnet days too. And so I was early in their Discord, was seeing this dude cdt doing websites for Shark DAO. And then he would post on Twitter about these cool things he was doing for their like cryptos community. And I was like, oh, this is actually sweet. The fact that this guy is just hanging out, coding these cool front end sites, these are sweet. And he has a lot of trust in the space. That's how we met. I reached out. I'm like, you look like you do great work. You seem like a guy who knows his stuff. Do you want to join me and build this thing for this interesting project called Nouns? And that's how it all began.